Hello and welcome to
Closing the Gap.
Motorsport Diaries.
My name is Ari,
And my name is Aranza.
and this is the episode where we talk about literally everything and then
So
some,
much.
right? So much has happened. First of all, we're coming to you quite a few days after China. So the Shanghai Grand Prix happened. What, like 10 days ago, 9 days ago?
Okay,
It's
listen.
been a minute.
Listen, it has been a minute, but we are working girls. Well, hold on.
Okay, not like that. We are, we're busy. We're busy people. We have to work, like we still have not made a single cent out of any other endeavors, including this podcast. But yeah, we're both busy with work, so unfortunately we couldn't make the episode last week, but
Yeah.
we're coming now.
Which is all that matters. And we have to start. We had so much happening. We had a sprint weekend. We had Formula Academy weekend. We had the race, obviously. There was so much going on. And
We also had, in the absence of this particular weekend, this last weekend that just went by, of a Grand Prix, we also had MotoGP, which we
yes,
were
that's
locked
right.
in.
That's right. We did have MotoGP.
And
That's crazy.
then coming up Japan in just a few
Suzuka.
just a few days.
Couple days. And then womp womp. The entire month of April.
Not a
is
single race.
nothing. But we'll get to that.
And well, obviously silly season has started.
Which, if you don't know what silly season is, please, if you started
Pull up to the
watching,
comments.
no, literally, if you started watching last year, there was not very much silly season happening. Like there was
Thank
silliness, there was silliness happening, but not silly season worthy.
Well, I feel like even if you have been in the sport for, like let's say a couple of years, if you've been in the sport for 2024, 2025, and then now you still you haven't gotten like the real silly season, because let's remind everybody 2024 was silly year.
Yeah, literally.
It started in February, did not end.
So if you haven't been around, silly season is usually when drivers have a break, like summer break, winter break, or even when we do races back to back and then we have a week or two in between. Usually something silly happens and it's called silly season because it's only for a part of the season.
For a season. It used to be just the summers, because like we used to have, before we did 24 races a year, we used to be a real sport. We used to have a real summer break. So like they wouldn't race for like the actual summer, like uninterruptedly, versus what they've done now to fit
Which
24
is like
races in
3 weeks off.
calendar. Exactly. It's 3 weeks off and then 2 on and then 3 off, and it's a mess.
Yeah.
So it used to be that period of time.
And because of that is why we don't have an official silly season
As
anymore.
it is, yeah.
Except for 2024. Towards that.
Yeah.
No.
It was a clown
No,
show.
no. 2025.
No, it was 2024.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, because
Oh,
Lewis
right.
announced
Yep, in
February.
February. Okay. Except for 2024. That was silly all the time.
Silly year.
Silly all the time. Like, it was insane. Starting off, like you said, with Lewis, and just it
Lewis to
kept
Ferrari.
going every
It never
week.
stopped.
Every single, like, it really was silly year. We are now back to a silly season or a silly time period.
Yeah, like a sense of normalcy within silly season, I want to say.
Yeah,
Ish.
I don't think we're
I'm very
officially at
upset.
silly season. I think we're just doing silly things.
I'm very upset about the news, if I'm being honest with
Go
you.
for it.
I personally thought this was it. Like, like we have been looking forward. I don't know. I mean, I have been a fan of the Audi project since they announced Audi was coming into the sport, right?
Yep.
Because at the beginning, Carlos was supposed to have a contracted for Audi when they finally came onto the grid as a real team, right? It was supposed to be Carlos and Nico all along. I was supposed to get Renault circa 2021 back.
Yeah.
2020.
2021. No. 2021, I think. What?
Anyways.
fact check. Please fact check this.
Please hold. And well, look, regardless of, like, oh, that would have been my dream team other than Carlando, like Nico and Carlos back together with a project like Audi, which we've seen now that, like they have a strong car. They have a car that it's a contender for points.
Yes.
We're going to leave it at that for now. And the Audi project led by Jonathan. If you've been here for a minute, you know that it is undoubtedly Ferrari's bad season started with Mattia Binotto took charge of the team and continued with his poor decision making. We're gonna leave it at that. I am personally not a fan of how things have developed in the Audi garage for the last couple of weeks. We didn't know, first of all, that there had been some, like push and pull inside the leadership team in Audi. Obviously, like, these rumors don't come out until something big has happened. But apparently, Jonathan and Mattia were not seeing eye to eye in the Audi team. Where is this coming from?
Which, can I say, from the moment, as someone who went through the grief of Mattia in Ferrari, the moment they announced Mattia to Audi, I knew that ship was
I was
sinking.
never for it. Never for it.
And now...
But we had Jonathan, right? So, like, at the end of the day, it was kind of like it would balance it out.
Yeah, the evilness.
Even though I was never for Mattia to be part of Audi, I said, well, Jonathan's still team principal. Like, there is hope. And...
all hope is lost now.
I don't even know how to begin to describe how my heart just completely broke.
If you don't know what she's talking about, it's a whole situation.
Yes,
Let us get into this because feelings are being had.
I have not processed it.
Clearly, she's processing in real time.
I was waiting for this moment.
But
guys.
If you haven't heard the news, Jonathan, who is team principal currently of Audi, is it effective immediately?
Yeah.
Okay, that I didn't know. Okay, was of Audi. So Mattia Binotto is now taking over all operations for Audi. Jonathan is making his way over to, which also I think that's, I don't know if
so that part has not been confirmed.
Aston Martin hasn't said anything other than no, deny.
So let's start from the top.
We respect.
This is how these two intertwine. Audi on their side agreed with Jonathan that they would part ways. Mm-hmm. Simultaneously, there's rumors swirling around that in the Aston Martin garage, which to nobody's surprise, we've known they've been having many issues with the car. Newey's leadership was compromised by making him step up as team principal, which we now know. New rumors sprung up as of yesterday or the day before that Christian Horner himself.
Oh my god.
It's stay with us, guys. Christian Horner, former Red Bull team principal that got sacked, thankfully, last year, was supposed to be in talks to be the team principal at Aston Martin last fall. Newey blocked it. Because Newey said, not in my team. You want me to stay? Basically, they're saying this is how it went down. Newey, Adrian Newey, engineer that built the rocket ship that Red Bull
had for 2023.
That basically Max Verstappen won all of his championships in. Now engineering for Aston Martin. And the reason why he went up to team principal or like got more responsibility in Aston Martin was because he said, if you still want me, Aston Martin, in your team, Christian Horner cannot come into this team. Not as his principal, not as anything. So, Lawrence Stroll being Lawrence Stroll said, well, you're going to have to step up and take more responsibility in this team. And so that's why Newey stepped up in some sort of way. Now they're saying it was never supposed to be long-term in that capacity. Blah, 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 blah. And then...
Which to that, it makes sense. Because when they first announced Newey to team principal, it didn't make sense
It
to
didn't.
me. And I'm sure it didn't make sense to a lot of people because he's not a team principal.
He's
like,
not.
he should not be in that position because that's already a lot to deal with.
Yep.
He's trying to build a car. That's his job. His main job is to build a car that's going to work, especially with these new regulations. That was his main focus. And for Lance Stroll to put him up as team principal, and you can tell in the car that it was too much responsibility all at once, and no person is capable of doing that, especially with a brand new team with a brand new regulations. It was too much at once, and I'm not saying, he was not capable. He's more than capable of doing more than that, but he can't put 100%, 110% into every single piece.
100%.
And that's where the faults are all coming in.
And so, understandably, Aston Martin has been under a lot of heat from, the press and the fans and around social media, around the circuits. I'm pretty sure, probably at the tracks in person, for saying, well, we all know you're not delivering with the car. Yeah. And, this was supposed to be our time, like many other teams said. Mm-hmm. And it was rumored that Jonathan had been approached by Aston Martin several times and had said no because he was committed to the Audi project.
Yep.
What changed? Right?
Yeah, that's the mystery right now. That what's going on? What's going to happen to him?
And because of all the heat coming to the Aston Martin team and garage, Newey's leadership and genius and skill had been not compromised but questioned, I think is a better word for it. And I am very, very happy and honestly, props to the AM team for coming out publicly and putting out that statement where it says, no, don't get it twisted. Adrian Newey is literally what we all know about this man. A genius and nothing short of the best of the best. Mm-hmm. This is not where this is going or coming from. He is still our best bet at building the best possible car. It's just that's probably it. They put a lot on his plate.
Yep.
So now, rumors also say they're getting Jonathan
to switch over.
Whitley to come from Audi to Aston Martin. They said no because Jonathan was, it was said, so committed to the Audi project. Yep. Now there's supposed to have been going on for a long time. Frictions between Mattia and Jonathan. Nobody knew about outside of the Audi team apparently, and now they're all coming to the light and saying that is the reason why Jonathan left.
Yeah, it's all very sketch. I don't know.
Very interesting timing, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is not silly season. This is very much inquisitive. This is confusing.
It's so sad
on all parts.
I'm just very. It's just something that, it's not going to happen at all anymore because I don't know. Even if he does go to Aston Martin, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, no, and Audi has a lot of promise for the year. I really want to know what Mattia's going to do with that. And I hope...
That is the saddest part.
I hope it's for the better, not for the worse. I hope he has learned from his mistakes.
Rewind. Let's play Ferrari back to this.
No.
Charles Leclerc would like to defer.
Oh my God! Do you remember the first time Mattia was back in the paddock, and both Carlos and Charles were like they've seen a ghost. This man came back from the dead. It was
my Formula One PTSD came straight from that man.
It was so crazy.
Single-handedly.
Fred, we are very thankful for you.
Fred Vasora, you get on our nerves sometimes, but we love you.
Yeah, 100%.
Which, all right, let's jump into the race, and then we can go on for everything else.
Can we spoil the ending of this race?
Because we are... You cried, I cried, everybody in the house cried, you guys. Not a single dry eye in the house.
Chills. That... I cannot... Kimi Antonelli. Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
Not Raikkonen.
Not Raikkonen, please. Has won his first GP.
second youngest winner of Formula One history.
And I think he almost did a Grand Slam? Is that what they call it?
Almost.
So close.
Youngest ever.
Started first.
Youngest ever pole sitter in Formula One history. That he took.
Yes.
Because everything else, it's really funny because when everybody else questions, like, oh, I thought he was the youngest. Like, whoever did it before him. And I'm like, take a wild guess. Who do you think?
But for youngest, I think it was Seb. He took it away from Seb.
Well, Max is first still.
For...
Winner.
Okay, yeah. But I'm saying, pole sitter, he took away from Seb. Winner, yeah, that's still, unfortunately. Well,
I feel like Max took it, and nobody is ever gonna be that one.
It's gonna be a while.
Probably.
It's gonna be a while.
This new kids are just coming. I don't know. They're making them different nowadays.
Which, yeah, let's hop into the race. Now that we did the big reveal, let's hop into this race because this race was.
If we stay here for a little bit longer, not one ill-intended words towards George Russell. I do not want to hear it. Yes, we have a complicated past, okay? But leave this man alone. Did you? Okay, so for those of you who might not be super familiar with why this podium was absolutely flawless.
Elite.
Bono used to be Sir Lewis Hamilton, the GOAT engineers, back when he was at Mercedes.
For years.
Forever. Kimi, obviously, took Lewis's spot. Correct. We're all on the same page. George got second place, right? It was Kimi, George, Lewis. Tell me why George just completely got the hint that nobody had even hinted.
So cute.
Bono went up, as you know. Constructor also sends one of representative up to the podium. And it was Bono. So it was Kimi, his engineer, Bono, ex-Lewis Hamilton's engineer when he was part of the Mercedes family, and George. When they all take a picture together, George says, so I'm going to step down real quick. These men think so fast. I swear, off track too, because I feel like it would have occurred to me way too late.
Yeah, it's also, I think George, he grew up with Lewis.
That's true.
Being his idol. I mean, so did Kimi, but he grew up with Lewis being his idol. He made it and was teammates with him for years. The love and respect that George has for Lewis is immense, especially knowing the relationship that Lewis has to Bono.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, he knows Lewis's replacement, Kimi.
It was a full circle moment.
It was that podium, and for that to be Kimi's first podium, written in the stars. It was a full circle moment, gorgeous. And the fact that George was so quick to step away and say, "You three take a picture," that was so
flawless.
Cute.
George Russell, we continue to be your fans.
Our elite employee of the month.
Put him up here. Right here.
Words I never thought I'd say.
Me neither. Listen, but here we
You need to print out that picture you have with him. Employee of the month.
I have a picture with George Russell. I don't know if that's ever been said on the podcast.
Probably not.
Which is crazy. We were walking to have dinner in Monaco, just finding the nearest open spot.
As
we
you
couldn't.
Do.
For 2 hours because little did we know that they close right between what we would call lunch and dinner, different times. However, we're walking to find an open restaurant. Tell me why George Russell just
jogging by.
And I was just like, oh, hi, chillest guy. And yeah, we took a picture. It was great. He continued with his run. And we ended up having dinner at a place that overlooked where he was not where he was running, but where we ran into him. And literally we're already eating, almost done. Tell me why this guy we saw him run back. I'm like, oh, that was a good lap, bro. And he didn't lie. He was going on a run. Anyway,
yeah, we're gonna have to print that out and place it up here, employee of the month. But don't get it twisted, George. You're coming down real soon.
We just had to say it was one of the most perfect podiums in the history of Formula One, just because of how much it meant and how much of a full circle moment it was for everybody involved. And
100%.
we can jump into, do you want to talk about the sprint race really quick?
Oh my god, that sprint race.
Now that you're wearing that sweater, it's the
Listen.
one that your boys did run.
Listen, I don't want to talk about
Not
it.
your boys. Oscar Piastri is still my championship contender.
Yeah, my boys. I will love and protect them forever and ever. Thank you. But McLaren, what are we doing? And you know what? It hurts me, and it hurt me last year when they said it, and it hurts me till this day that last year was their one and only chance to become world champions, and I didn't want to believe it. I thought we had it together.
They knew it.
What are we doing, McLaren? Like, this is where I'm at. I need to sit with the engineers, sit with the mechanics.
Be in that
How
room.
can I... Listen, I've worked for a mechanic for like 6 years. What year are we in? 2026? 6 years. Where can I help? Put me in, coach.
How can I best support you guys?
Like, put me in, coach. If you need me to help with some data, I'll figure out the data. I'll figure it out. If we need help with the car, I'll figure it out. I'll get down there. Just, what are we doing?
Well, I feel like that's why I wanted to say, like, let's start with the sprint, because could have fooled me. Like, they did.
Literally.
They actually did really good in the sprint. They did, what, like 4th and 6th, I think?
I think so.
I missed the podium by a little.
Not as good as last year. Last year was our year, but yeah, you can tell they're struggling from the jump.
Well, yeah, Oscar has not run a single race.
Let's not talk about Oscar. That's a touchy subject. Let's leave Oscar alone.
It's okay. We can.
Leave Oscar alone until he runs one.
Me and Oscar Piastri have driven the same amount of GPs this
Nobody
year.
cares. That's so sad. That's so sad.
0.
Oh
It's
my
okay.
gosh. Like, that's such
Oscar
sad
can handle it.
Statistic. I can't even fucking say the word.
You know my other favorite statistics?
Anyway.
Lando got 4th, missed the podium by just a little bit.
Yeah.
And Ferrari boys were up in the podium. Oscar got 6th,
The Ferrari boys are, I'm telling you. I don't know. I told her earlier, I was like, this is my Forza Ferrari showing, but if we can't get a world champion out of either Charles or Lewis this year, I'm thinking there's a possible constructors, if anything.
They'll fight for it. I'm pretty sure they're going to
There's definitely going to be a fight. It's 100% the drivers is going to Mercedes and
who? That is the question.
Listen. If you've watched any of our other podcast episodes, I always say, George, the 2 times that he's won of the 7 that he has.
Oh, this is so sad.
The 2 times that he's won
a
race. That man, nobody cares because Max Verstappen in Vegas 2 years ago was world champion. Last year we had the constructors McLaren Constructors Championship. Nobody cared about George. And honestly, you know what would be really funny?
No, stop. We just said Employee of the Month.
Okay, that doesn't mean Employee of the Month can mean anything. Anyways,
poor George.
What would be really funny of the universe is if George wins a race and Kimi gets announced as world champion.
Mathematically wins the championship. That would be hilarious.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
But it would also be
And you guys can quote me on this. This would be so hilarious. I need to be there. If this happens, F1 Mercedes, I don't care who needs to hear this. Put me there. Put me in, coach. I want to be there to witness this.
She called it.
She did say it earlier. I would like to be there to witness this. I don't care if George is my most elite employee. I do not care if he wins a Grand Prix.
You know
but
what?
Kimi gets announced.
He would. He's such an NPC, I swear. Like, it would happen to George. I'm not saying it will, but it would. If it were to happen to anybody in that grid out of the 22,
it's gonna be George.
It's gonna be George. And it's so sad. But,
oh, Lord Jesus.
Sprint.
Yes.
Very uneventful-ish, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, sprints usually are. It's more eventful.
Well, it was a good sprint race, we did see
Yeah,
a
within
lot
the
of
sprint
overtakes,
aspect, it was a good race.
but the podium was, I mean, now that we've
What we
kind of
predicted.
see, yeah, who's where, it was kind of very straightforward. It went by really fast. I
Yeah,
literally
babe,
was like,
it's a sprint.
but no, faster than other ones. I swear, like, oh, I was watching it, I was like, oh, that was it. It was, I feel like because it was interesting throughout. So
Gotcha.
things were always happening. So
See,
it's like, oh, before you know it, it's done.
Not to jump around, but that's how I felt with the Formula One Academy races.
Mm-hmm.
The first one, not so much, but there was still a lot of overtakes. If you guys have never seen a Formula One Academy race, oh my god, please watch race 2 of Shanghai. It was so good. The amount of overtakes, oh my god, it was amazing. Everything, that is what racing should look like forever and always. Like, that is good racing for both races, but mostly the second one. Like, that one had the most action, and that one, to me, they're 30-minute races, so they go by fast.
Second one is
anyways.
in Sunday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That race, magic. That is why I got into racing. Races like that is why I.
And you know what? I feel like this year we have such a good lineup with the girls. A couple of them are like already racing in different series, like Formula 4, and so they are
GP3.
coming with such experience that they're making, and they go for it. Like, you guys, if you saw, I mean, I'm not to, like, put them out there, but if you saw Max Verstappen race this weekend in the was it NLS series?
Yes.
And he went for that gap, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, he's going for it." That's how the girls race. Like, these girls truly, truly, truly go for it. Granted, we've touched on this before. Like, they race with Formula 4 cars, equivalents. So they are a little bit, like, more bulky. They're not as easy to control. They're not like, like, it's called Formula 1 for a reason. And if you put it as Formula 4, there's still things that definitely need to be optimized, I would like to say. The way these girls just own it, just go for it, and they extract so much out of these cars. And for those of you who aren't super familiar with Formula 1 Academy weekend, they race twice. They race on Saturday on a reverse grid, and then on Sunday the normal race. But points wise, it's the same, correct?
Yes, except for reverse grid. So I actually made a TikTok about it, talking about all the teams, all the drivers, and as well as how race weekends are gonna go. And I actually did make a mistake. I said the top 10 are reverse out of 18, but it's actually the top 8 are reverse grid. So instead of 10 would be one, it would be 8 would be one. And
so yeah, our podium was on Saturday was Nina Gateman with Alpine 1. Here.
Our only Alpine girl doing something.
She stop. Frank got a point this week,
Okay.
all right?
My bad. Franco, I'm so sorry.
But anyway, Nina, hell yes. That girl, she drives this skill this girl has. We're big fans of Nina in this podcast. We're fans of all of them, really. We had the Granada from Sephora. I don't really know, because like Sephora steps into the game, big sponsor now, but it used to be Prema, right? So it's now Sephora Prema. What are we calling this team?
No. So she's a part of. So it's Let me do a rundown real quick. It's the team. So she belongs to the Prema team. Each girl is sponsored by somebody else. So they're a part of the Prema team. So it's just she's sponsored by Sephora. So it's not
interesting.
It's not Prema Sephora. It's
because I think
a part of the Prema team. Each girl is sponsored. So she's just sponsored by Sephora, or the car is sponsored by Sephora.
You remember last year Sephora was already in the game, but this
they
year
weren't sponsors.
They weren't.
No, they weren't sponsors.
Because this year I've seen it printed places that literally says Sephora/Prema starting 2026. So that's why I'm like, did something change? Because I know they're like real sponsors, big sponsors, but I don't know why they're.
As far as I know, they're just sponsoring the car. Like Lego will sponsor a car, like the teams, Ferrari will sponsor a car, McLaren and everything like that. And even McLaren now has two that they're doing. It's McLaren Octagon and McLaren F1 team. So they are the sponsors for the car for the girl. The girls are a part of Road and Motorsports, Prema, or anything like that. So they're sponsoring the car, and the girls, the girls belong to a team.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That whole Sephora Prema thing that you're saying, no idea. But as far as
we'll
F1 Academy goes,
we'll let you know.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And on third place we had
Emma Felbermeyer.
Yep.
Who is our race 2 winner.
She was P1 on Sunday.
Yeah.
And then we had Alicia Palmowski, Red Bull team.
Love that for her.
On second place.
Yes.
And on third place we had from the Mercedes, Peyton Westcott.
Peyton Westcott, our new girl, taking over for our Dory.
I love how much presence she's getting on socials too, like from overall Mercedes AMG Petronas F1 team.
Listen,
she's all over the place, and I love that.
No one is doing it like Mercedes for F1 Academy.
Nobody. Thank you, Susie Wolf.
Yeah, which makes sense because of Susie Wolf. But even on their, if you guys aren't a part of their like WhatsApp, they will post about her all the time. They posted a cute little video of all the drivers, even their reserve driver, like telling her good luck in the race. And
we even said this last season when Dorian was still part of a
who is
F1
now
Academy,
a development driver with them,
who was our last year's championship winner and part of the Mercedes family back then as a Formula One Academy driver. And this year it's and now it's Peyton, right? Mm-hmm. They are doing such an amazing job at just kind of like bringing her in. Overall, the way that the Formula One Academy race was happening, obviously simultaneously in Shanghai, same as Formula One Grand Prix. She was in all of the social media posts with Kimmy, with George. George was on the grid for Formula One Academy.
Yeah.
Kimmy was posting about her. Her presence was felt. And like was known. It's so refreshing to see it. Because not everybody's doing it the same. And this is not like for lack of trying. I'm pretty sure other teams. But just the way that Mercedes really makes sure that it's like, it's we're all one here. Yeah. And makes no distinction.
One team.
Obviously, Susie Wolf is responsible for all this, but you know, like they're just trailblazers, setting the example. Everybody else, do it as well, please.
The only other team that kind of has this going, and I did mention this earlier in just a random talk that we had, is Ferrari. With Alba.
Yep.
And they're
more and more every weekend.
Listen, they're doing it in the way that they used to do when their car was messing up. When Mattia, our PTSD, was with Ferrari. And we were having DNFs, we were having issues with the car, and it was Carlos and Charles. And then it was after a bad race. After a bad race, they would just throw up pictures of them Ara farming. They're doing the same thing with Alba. And you know what? I love that they don't discriminate.
I love that. But you know what? I feel like
her presence is very known.
A lot of credit to Alba because she also decides to show up. You know, she goes to the garage. She stays involved. So yes, it is up to the teams, but it is also up to the girls. And I'm sure like we were in the paddock with a few of them in Zandvoort.
They're so sweet.
They stay available, and I can only assume so much, but how pressuring that is, and like there's stress involved. They're also racing, and their paddock is pretty open. Anybody has access to them in the sense of they're always busy on a weekend, and they still also have their commitments that they have to do, the press, the interviews, and all of that, and on top of that show up and be there for the main team. It's a lot, but a lot of them manage and do it, so props to them, honestly.
Well, it's also Alba's second year, so I think she's a little bit more comfortable with this year, and you can totally tell
100%,
especially with the ones that I think just in general McLaren with their socials, they're not on it, whether. And I understand because the drivers themselves have requested not to do very many socials, or if they're going to do social media, it's going to be very limited or it's going to be structured. And I think the same because, I don't know, the way that I see, well, we have two Ellas, but Ella Lloyd, she looks very shy. She doesn't look like she's approachable, yes, but she's very shy. And it makes sense that with that McLaren dynamic, she's okay with it too, but at the same time, do something. because she's a little bit more
'Cause she needs
available.
it.
Yeah, she's
That's
a
the
little
thing.
bit more available to actually do stuff, and she would. If you see some of their content that they post with the other Ella, which I cannot remember her last name right now. I'm so sorry, Ella, but they've done content with both of them, and it's good content. It's just that McLaren is not pushing that.
Yeah, of course. And like we said, you have to talk about the availability of all the drivers at
Yeah.
the same time, get them in the same room. Obviously, it's hectic as it is on the paddock, right?
Yeah.
But I personally have loved when they do all four of them or all three of them, like all the
Yeah.
content that we've gotten from Ella Lloyd with Oscar and with Lando, or either
Yeah.
or. It's so enjoyable.
Mhm.
So, yo, McLaren, step it up.
Yeah, just like something simple like that. They recently put out
Y'all,
a video
y'all
with
are on site since Thursday.
right. Since Wednesday, actually. I don't know what y'all doing, but yeah, they put out a video with Lando and Ella, and it was so good. It was so endearing because it was very Big Brother of him to be like, hey,
I
what are you guys
know.
doing to prepare? How are you preparing? Why are you doing, it was very, something like that, like so authentic. It doesn't have to be a played out thing. It could also,
Yeah.
like, how William does Team Torque, like something like that, not necessarily a whole podcast about it, but definitely something a little bit more, regular, because something that fits to their personalities.
I remember last year they did do a little, not the Torque podcast, but a little interview between,
Yes.
was it Alex or was it Carlos or was it both of them?
I think it was both
And
of
they
them.
brought on Leah Block, which was our ex
It
Williams
was both
queen.
of them during Vegas.
Yes. And they were talking about their favorite like Thanksgiving food and all that,
like,
and it was
so simple.
such good content.
Yeah.
And even if it happens once or twice a year, because obviously the girls don't run every weekend, maximize it because we love to see it, and I'm pretty sure we're not the only ones.
Yeah.
Jumping back into the race. Okay, so
Let us.
sprint. We can tie in qualifying with the race because they did go hand in hand this week. There's so much to talk about in the sense of regulations.
Yeah. I don't, it's definitely making it interesting, but I don't know how much these regulations, like, I'm sure once every team figures it out, it's going to be great, but it's taking a while.
But that's the thing. Do we think they're going to figure it out? In the sense of, all right, so Ferrari gave us amazing content. Whether they wanted it or not, we don't know. Lewis stays the GOAT, and I'm going to tell you why.
Listen, it was really just Charles finding out who his teammate is.
He realized in real time.
In real time, finding out that is the Sir Lewis Hamilton.
And honestly, it went to show this is where the conversation is going to go kind of either on a fork. Do you go left or you go right? Pro or against these regulations? It is not that black or white, but I am very, for now, not quite a fan of these new regulations. But these are the moments when you're like, because a lot of people are saying, where does the skill begin?
Mm-hmm.
Because this whole battery power issue is becoming the talk of the town. We don't know the whole picture. Lewis himself said, we had like 4 classes, like actual college classes that we sat through for them to explain all these new things to us. Like, you need a degree to understand everything that is going on. And I still don't think I understand the complexity of all these new things
different.
Between the new car and the new regulations. It's a whole new world.
Yeah. And it's so funny because I'll see on Twitter or even on TikTok people being like, me watching the races without bothering to look up any of what the regulations means, whatever. I'm just as confused as everyone else, and I'm going to stay confused until the teams figure it out and they tell me what's going on.
Exactly.
Because it's not that it's confusing. Like, you can understand the rules, but once they actually go into play, you're kind of like, okay, but where does this, you know what I mean?
But you can see it, and I feel like you
Yeah.
can see it. It's this race, I feel like, showed a little bit better how the new regulations and how the battery power make the biggest difference.
Yeah. You can use it to your advantage and stuff like that. Yeah.
When you see the battle between the Ferraris, you definitely can see the skill, because maybe it's the battery power is still a big chunk of who's gonna win. Yes, and it's gonna stay that way for a while. But when
Yeah.
you're talking about the skill, and you see how many times did we hear the, like, DC and the people talking, others, oh, they're gonna, they're gonna touch each other, they're gonna touch each other,
Yeah.
there's going to be a
That was
collision.
good, solid racing.
Yes.
And David Coulthard said it himself when he was talking to Lewis at the very end. That was solid racing. Like, that was what is exciting. That is why people watch Formula One. That is, oh my God, that is peak racing.
And the fact that even something as experienced as David thought, oop, they're for sure gonna touch, and they didn't, and at no point, they both knew they were at no risk. That shows you level A skill of Charles and Lewis. They knew exactly what they were doing, and that's where the skill
Yeah.
comes in, because they knew millimetrically what they were doing. They
But
were
it's
both breaking
also-
late.
Also, the respect for each other not to actually touch. Like, obviously,
That's
there's-
how you race McLaren. Just by the way.
All right, calm down. Sit down. Sit down. Miss Max Verstappen, sit down. God. McLaren, please. You're embarrassing me. Please, I can't. I'm going to go back to Red Bull. Please. It's so embarrassing.
How funny would
Anyway.
it be? I'm gonna do a next podcast watch. Anyway.
Anyway, God, now I'm off my train. Let me go catch it real quick.
Yes, I feel like a lot of people have a very valid conversation going on online about where does the skill end, or where does the skill actually start versus where just managing the power
Yeah.
ends. This is where the skill happens, babes. The racing, the nut touching, that I'm gonna turn now. Good luck, everybody. No. This is
Yeah.
all very calculated.
Yeah, Liam Lawson. You could have said that. You could have said that. Come on now. He was right there.
He was right there.
Ridiculous.
I
Which
can't believe
he
he did
always
not get
stays.
penalized, not once.
I'm saying, and then 10 seconds to Alcon. Welcome back. Welcome back,
I
King.
know. Honestly, it's just
Welcome
funny.
back.
How could we not? When I saw that penalty, I was like,
I
yes.
fully
I
laughed out
celebrated
loud.
it.
I fully laughed out loud.
Esty, we love you, but that was long overdue for
Fully
the
laughed
sport.
out loud. That was crazy.
Great for the pot. Thanks you.
But, dude, Liam Lawson, back to Liam Lawson, he continues just to be where he's
menace.
not supposed to. And not in a good way, because
No.
you can be a menace in a good way.
Yes.
And he just was not it. He truly needs a master class. And that's what we talk about when good racing, like Lewis and Charles, that is good racing. You can get as close as you can, but the respect you have for the other driver means you're not going to crash the cars, but you're going to have a good battle. You're going to battle it out. Liam Lawson does not know how to do that. He tries to be like, oh, Max Verstappen has respect for other drivers as well. That's what makes him a good racer. That's what... We're not going to talk about the times he's gone bowling, please. That is my most elite employee. Thank you. That is my main man, all right? Nobody talk shit about Max. But
All right, you're not gonna tell me
he...
last season, or actually no, end of 2024, he pulled some esh on Lando. All right,
Yes, but
unjustified.
not...
And I will be the first
No
one to say Max
crash.
Verstappen, yes, Argo. But
But he was also doing it in a respectful manner. Not respectful
Question
as in,
mark.
like, how the car was moving. It was more of he wasn't crashing into him on purpose. You know what I mean? And that's what Liam Lawson does, is basically cause car accidents.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And, you know, like, it's a different type of
No.
way to go racing.
100%.
Liam Lawson 100% will cause an accident and be like, why do you hit me? Babe, you're the problem here, not everybody else. You are the problem.
and everybody on the grid already knows this too. It's like it's always the
Exactly.
same guy. And it's
Yeah,
always
literally.
Liam.
And it's so funny when you see the drivers in the background being like, oh, who was it? He goes, like, you don't
Everybody
even have to
already
mention a
knows.
name. You already know it's that man.
And this is me being biased. So I would like to ask our audience, mighty as it is, Ollie did not fully. So that Ollie and Isaac
Mhm.
incident.
Yeah.
they didn't penalize Ollie, and Isaac ended up, like spinning. And even though it wasn't fully Ollie's fault, I'm thinking it wasn't Ollie's fault. He did spin, and Ollie did go off track to, like get
to
ahead.
avoid him.
He would have had to give him the place back regardless, because he was off track. But Isaac spun.
Yeah.
Also, mad props, because it will never cease to amaze me how
my God.
quick these men's their reflexes are insane.
And Ollie himself said, "I almost killed him." Like, that's crazy.
It was lightning fast. It'll never cease to amaze me. Every time it happens, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, less than a blink. Less than a blink of an eye.
I need to rewatch that, but it definitely, I agree with Ollie never getting a penalty for that, because that's not his fault. He avoided a collision, did his best to it. To give back that spot, no, because Isaac...
He was completely off track.
Yeah, to avoid the collision.
No. Before. When they turned the corner, he got ahead of Isaac before he spun. Which is what threw Isaac out.
See, that's what I'm saying. I need to rewatch it again, because...
In my mind...
From what I saw, he's fine, because he did...
But you tell us what you think.
Yeah. I don't know. That's also... I think it also kind of is a negative plus a negative equals a positive type of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it all happened like right next to each other too. So
Ollie did something bad. Isaac did something bad. Nobody got hurt. We'll take it.
We'll call it a day.
Yeah.
If we can go back to the DNS and the DNFs to go back into the regulations, I'm sorry, it has to say, because other people didn't also start the race.
The only reason why I'm okay with this is because Checo gets one step closer to getting points.
You guys don't understand.
Everyone else getting DNFs and DNSs.
Let's
keep it going, team.
I need to make a POV TikTok of how this woman watches races nowadays. Where you and I see a DNF, where you and I see an accident, when you and I see a yellow card, this woman thinks, yes, Checo. Go, Checo. One more. Position. Let's go. Pit Checo.
Position. We're not last, baby. We're not last. Literally, I'll watch a crash and be like, he's out. Checo's up. Checo's up.
Checo pit real quick.
Checo's up.
Honestly.
Listen, we've made it to P15. If we make it to a point. He also
crash into his teammate.
All right, nobody cares.
Yeah, we do care. Valtteri cares. What do you mean? That was a racing incident. Yeah. But still, like, Checo, pay attention. God
damn it. You're doing great.
Obviously, McLaren didn't start. Oscar looked like he was going to start for a second there. He didn't. Yeah. Lando did not start.
Alex Albon
did not start.
I thought it was so funny. Sorry to cut you off, but I thought it was so funny when they're like, "Oh yeah, it's looking like Williams," and then they cut to Alex at
completely out of the car. He's like,
yeah, on the computer. Like, all right, what are we? How do I help Carlos? Like, what are we doing here? What do you guys do all day?
Honestly, next thing we're gonna say, he's gonna be washing the car. Yeah. Get it together, yeah, Williams.
Definitely.
Gabriel also didn't start. Also, a thing with the engine, I believe. And that is who did not start. Moving on to DNF'd. Stroll causing the first safety car. Mm-hmm. Well, the only safety car, actually. In which Ferrari, thank you for once getting a hint, double stacked, pitted, both of them. So Lewis ended up in third place, finally back on the podium. Finally, first podium with Ferrari. Thankful. This is what happens when you pit during a safety car. Thank you very much. Hilarious to watch. Franco Colapinto on second, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Franco, you deserve better. I hope we get a win from you one day.
We got a point from Franco. P10 for Franco Colapinto. We are very happy. We will celebrate it like a podium. Don't you worry.
Yes, we will.
Carlos Sainz, P9.
He did.
2 points for our Williams King, my Williams King.
Go Williams.
Go Williams. And Fernando Alonso.
Listen, you leave my rookie alone.
This man was waving at people. He was
having the time of his life.
Let me give you a visual if you did not see the race. This man was driving like this. And rightfully so, because it's been said several times these cars could not finish a race. Not if they want to keep the well-being of their drivers. They
Yeah.
could not go on for the 50
The
plus laps.
vibrations is crazy.
And that is why Fernando was actually
Hands.
taking his hands off the wheel, because the vibrations were killing his hands.
Yeah.
So, but it's so funny because he'll just be waving at people. He'll be like, you know, like hands, no hands. It's hilarious to watch, but it's a serious issue.
His entire goal right now is to just finish races.
Well, he DNF'd.
I'm saying just the goal. Not saying what he did or did not do. I'm saying the goal is to just finish.
Yes.
Points, we'll take them. But
I don't know how realistic that is, to be honest with you.
neither do I. I think they
That's
should
so
give
sad.
up for right now, and that sucks.
And that is where my man Jonathan is going? Question mark.
Jonathan,
No.
please tell us.
Heartbroken. Stroll, DNF.
What more do we expect?
Um,
We're lucky he even started.
and last but not least, Max
Dun,
Verstappen.
dun, dun.
Um,
Checo finishes in front of Max Verstappen.
Stop. Max had to retire the car. It's we can jump back into the regulations because they are so intrinsically literally the reason why all of this mess is being a mess.
Yeah.
Max was able to start the race, lose positions right away. From my understanding, and it's so the power battery issues are, and you could see it, and if
You
you're
can
not,
hear it.
if you don't know what I'm talking about, just rewatch this race. In the first 10 minutes, you'll see. You know how Lewis and Charles just went for it at the beginning, correct? You can see how easy, once Kimmy takes the lead, George is just coasting. And then you can see it on the straight. George just goes zoop, completely zooms by the Ferraris effortlessly.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? You could have never seen that before 2026. The overtakes, granted, they would happen, and they would happen seamlessly. But the thing is, not like that. Like, they happen so fast and so easily. And it's just because they have this overtake mode and this, kind of like turbo. You're just like,
Yeah.
so it bears the question. And I think, and this is where I feel like we're all conflicted because we don't have a full understanding of it. And you start listening to the pilots. Max, Lando, Fernando have said it themselves. Max went on to as far as saying, if you like this, you don't like racing.
Yeah.
But it's because we don't understand it. We're just seeing overtakes. We're just seeing excitement. We're seeing more battles. Yes. But he's like, oh, like you don't understand it. You don't. Yeah, well, no crap. You know, we don't understand it.
Yeah.
Lando, and he even says corners like Eau Rouge and Spa, like you're not seeing who's the best or the most skilled one. You're just seeing who is better at conserving the battery for when you need it, right?
Also, I want to say the battery that they have, so you know in the graphics, the batteries that they have, those are not real. Like, that is somebody making up numbers because everyone signed an agreement saying that that information is not to be shared with other drivers. So whoever's putting up those graphics is just basically guesstimating.
It's useless.
Yeah, they're guesstimating what could possibly
Be the scenario, yeah.
But I guess if you are kind of familiar with the cars, and if as we're getting more familiar with the cars and how the battery actually is operating, and like when you see someone like, oh, this guy has like just waiting it out, like how Charles and Lewis were having their battle and George was just waiting it out to see,
because he was recharging.
Yeah,
he was harvesting his power.
Exactly. And it's only in moments like that where you can actually see what the batteries are capable of doing. We don't know what the actual percentage of them is, but we know obviously Lewis and Charles are just wasting their battery because they're battling each other. George is just biding his time, saving, conserving.
No, he was going to zoom through them.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he did. Just zoom right past them.
So that's the thing. Like, the better engine is not winning. The most skilled driver isn't winning. It's who's going to manage your power best. Who is going to know when to charge, when to coast. You know, are we harvesting? Are we waiting it out, knowing that we can zoom in later? Like, So it's like, when you
It's
get
a
to
lot
that,
of
it's like,
more
is it really
logistics, yeah.
racing? Because now it's part of the strategy, like we used to do with tires. Oh, maybe if he can, like stay on the soft for 20 laps
Yeah.
instead of 16, or we're gonna bet on the safety car. So now the battery harvesting is
Yeah,
going to be part of
it's
the
taking over.
strategy.
Yeah.
And how would you know, right? Like if you're the Lewis Hamilton and you're seeing George in the back, it's like, you're gonna guesstimate, is he charging what his battery is at for?
Yeah.
Why am I fighting right now, wasting all my battery and tires, if he's just gonna zoom by in the
Because
next
he
3
has
laps?
more battery, yeah.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So it is kind of like, what are we doing here?
100%. As viewers, it's a little bit more interesting because we do get a couple more battles. We get to see a couple more overtakes. So on that aspect,
It's still exciting.
It's exciting, but
it's a real racing.
You can also tell how the drivers are they're just not. It's not that they're not figuring it out. It's just not.
They're not
fun
feeling
for
it.
them. And to me, yeah, the racing is fun and everything like that. But if the drivers are not having fun and not like trying to figure out what your car is doing and you're not in tune with your car, it's not fun anymore.
It's not really about them having fun as much as their skill being completely wasted.
Useless. Yeah.
Because before, yeah, and you can see it in how Lewis Hamilton handles his battles.
Yeah.
The skill is at the end of the day the top priority. How skilled your driver is. Right now, that's not the case.
It doesn't matter, yeah. And you can kind of tell that he's kind of figuring it out. Obviously, the Mercedes are going more of, they're relying on how fast their engine is, or like how fast their car is. That's what they're relying on. It's going to be a struggle for them when all they've been doing the beginning of the season is relying on how fast the car is and not conserving energy. I think George, as I said, he's kind of getting it a little bit. Lewis is kind of getting it a little bit, but I don't know, because if Kimi is relying more on the engine than he is battery saving, if that's going to be a make or break. You know what I mean?
But it's also a conversation of, if we take all this and put it into quali, it doesn't compute. Like the math is not mathing, because you can get a purple sector after purple sector, and then what? At the end of the lap, you're suddenly out of power because you turboed the first 2 sectors, and now you get green. You're gonna end up in 7th place versus somebody that maybe conserved their battery sector 1 and then hit it in sector 2 and 3, and now they're pole.
Yeah.
Like there was like I said, we don't fully understand it, but there was a couple of instances during qualifying for the Grand Prix on Saturday that were like, wait, how?
Yeah.
Like purple, green, but it made no sense at that point. So yeah, those times were questionable, and
yeah, it's all a little confusing right now. Is it fun still? Yes. A little bit, not fun, I would say exciting. Yes. And I hope we're not the only ones confused.
No, it's
yeah.
But I do see where Max's frustration might be coming from, along with other drivers. He's just the one that obviously, as per usual,
voices it
so much more vocal about it.
Yeah.
But the championship is up for grabs, and it's not based on skill. Not right now. Not 3 races in. It's not up to skill. Anybody can win this championship at this point.
Yeah. So on the
4th in the constructors.
On the perspective of spectators, yeah, this is a great year because it could be anybody's.
Anybody can have, yeah.
Anybody's.
Anything can happen.
Yeah. I don't know. And maybe we put ourselves too much in the driver's positions to be like,
listen, I don't know let me in the chat, George.
I'm telling you. McLaren, let me in the garage. Let me in.
And that is on Formula One.
Thank you.
Honorable mention to MotoGP, because it happened this last weekend in Brazil. Not Interlagos. It's a different track, but it's still Brazil. Bezzecchi won, to nobody's surprise. 4th win in a row for Aprilia, and his teammate, Jose Martin, got 2nd. So props to them. You all know it's Marc Marquez household up in here.
This is a Marquez household. Not just Marc. A Marquez
Alex,
household.
we're with you too. But I mean, Bezzecchi has been doing amazing. So I think that championship is also up for grabs, because we all know what happened with Oscar last season. So Bezzecchi, I would not just keep an eye out, because Marc we got
He's
you.
coming.
He's coming. He's
quick.
right behind. He's in fourth right now, I think. Overall for the championship. But you never know. You never know. They are at the Circuit of the Americas here in the U.S. This weekend. And it's going to be a good one, I think. While we don't have Formula One, we will have MotoGP. So that's where I will probably put
and
some of my efforts. And IndyCar.
Which they're on a tightrope. They're on a thin line. But
oh, yeah. We will get into that next week. Oh, you want to do Japan predictions really quick? Go.
I want to say my close personal friend, Ollie Behrman.
Ollie Behrman got fifth. So happy for you, Ollie.
Listen, Ollie, this is your race. We don't need to win, but we can get a podium.
We can. Is this when we finally see Ollie Behrman in a podium? Is Japan
I hope
it?
So.
Suzuka.
I hope so.
I hope Suzuka's so close to my heart.
I need to see him on a podium soon.
It was quite the top 10. I mean,
it was a good top 10.
Everybody knows this is a McLaren household, yes. But when you take him out of the equation, it was a variety up in there. Pierre Gasly himself, 6th place.
Franco, the fact that they have double points in Alpine.
It reminds me of where, when Haas, Kevin Magnussen and Nico.
That was insane. That was so crazy.
And they're Chipotle ad. I was like, when you both get points. Undefeated, so Kevin Magnussen. We still miss you. We love you.
We do. My terrorizer of the grid. I loved.
That was the best way to be a menace. Nobody ever done it like Kevin Magnussen did. And
the fact that he got banned too. And also, my close personal friend, Ollie Behrman, is so close to getting banned too. Listen, if we don't get a podium, please let's get banned. Just for the plot. Just for the plot, Ollie.
Oh God, please don't take no advice from this woman, Ollie.
Just for the plot. Also, and to get Checo into P10. Thank you. Thank you.
Hadjar, regardless of literally everything that happened to him, he still managed to get P8. So, proud of you, boy.
He's doing great.
Red Bull doing numbers up in here. So yes, predictions. You're saying P3 for Ollie then.
I hope so. I am saying P3 for Ollie. It's going to be George and Kimmy. P1, P2. But realistically, my hope and prayers go to close personal friend, Ollie Behrman. You are going to get P3. If not, it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be Charles this time. It's still going to be, I think it's still going to be a Mercedes one too. I hope it's not, but I think it's going to be a Mercedes one.
All right, I'm going to throw a wild one out there then. I think
Arvid.
You leave this kid alone. Arvid, I will die on this hill. Arvid's going to be in the points.
Oh, in the points, yeah, 100%.
100%. Arvid in the points. I'm going to say George P3, Luis P2, and Kimi P1. He's on a high. That man's on a high. There's nothing. Unless he DNFs and something goes wrong with the car itself, Kimi's winning again.
I would love to see it.
Mark my words.
I would love to see it.
And I think Luis, he's already, he's getting familiar with the car. He's getting his confidence back because we know how mental sometimes this is for him. So same thing. He's on the top of the mountain right now. And then it's almost back to back. Suzuka is a track that literally every driver puts their best foot forward. They all love it. And yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm saying P1 Kimi, P2 Lewis. P3 is up for grabs, but it most likely will be George Russell.
Yeah.
I'm saying, this is the wildest one I'm going to throw out there. I'm saying Oscar Piastri finishes the race.
Yuki comes back. That's wilder than anything. But yeah, I want to say McLaren finishes a race. Or
I don't know about Lando.
Starts a race. You leave Lando alone. McLaren starts a race. And then they called me up to fix their car. Because clearly we're having issues.
And with that,
this episode has come to an end.
We will see you next week with Japan outcome and hopefully a little bit more silly season. going on.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of breaking news, but we'll see. We'll see what happens after this race. Because Japan, if we did say it at the beginning, but
Yes.
just in case you've forgotten, all of April, no races.
Nope.
We go Japan, and then we're all of a sudden in Miami.
In May.
So, we will come at you at least with one episode. If you have any ideas of what you would like us to talk about during our break, let us
Yes.
know.
And April is my birthday month, so you'll be lucky to get one video out of us. Or at least out of me. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. And don't forget to leave us some comments. And we'll see you all next time.
Bye.